don't you look at me? I've tried to be as open as I can. Why don't you look at me? I'm tired of being the invisible man. The invisible man. Oh, the invisible man.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to the show. My name is Mark David Stallard, and I just wanted to let everybody know I've been paying attention to the chats, and apparently between me and Ryan, I am Elna's favourite. That's all that matters. Of course, with me is the aforementioned Ryan Janz. How you doing, buddy?
Elna. Oh, to be forgotten. Travesty. No, it's all good. We all know that everybody loves Mark, right? We could change it. We could create like a show about it where everybody loves Mark, right? We wouldn't get into too much copyright trouble for that.
That'll be fine. We'll be fine. But, I might change my name though to Raymond's just so it's easier for everybody.
Oh, there you go. Because that definitely wouldn't get us a copyright strike. There we go.
Okay, perfect.
I'm doing actually pretty good here to answer your original question, Mark. I'm down here in the basement of my house, avoiding the nuclear summer that we are having currently right now. It is something like, I'm trying to do the quick conversion in my head to Fahrenheit just so that our guest has an idea, but it's about mid 30 degrees Celsius, which is somewhere around, I don't know. You know what? Hang on. I'm going to Google it because
you Google it. Well, we'll come back. Just want to encourage everybody, if you haven't already, like the video, like the stream, share it. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, follow us and like the Invisible Man Show page. And as usual,
91.4 degrees. That's what it is about now.
Oh, that's
somewhere
like
around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's warm.
And I haven't been outside yet. So,
it's hot.
So let's get on with the show. You didn't come here to listen to us chatter. Maybe you did. But because we're here to discover some new music, to get to know a new friend, a new musical colleague in the music industry, as it were. So let's, he's been patient for the last 45 minutes. And it's that time we gave him the center stage. So our guest today is a Chicago hip-hop artist, label owner and creative visionary. He has already dropped 2 impressive EPs that are expressive, personal, and blend influences both old and new into a sound that is 100% real hip-hop. He has opened for major artists including Rittz, Lil Bobby, and Cameron. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, LH. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how you doing? I'm great.
That's great. Thanks so much. Probably the most well-behaved guest out behind the scenes that we've had, I think. Just been literally
easily. It was just like, hey, check this, check that, check this. Okay, we're good. And then it just
absolute pleasure to have her there as well. Your mother should be very proud. And that wasn't a joke. I mean, it's been great. So as we usually do, we start these shows with the same question for everybody. So, LH, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Just a rapper / hip hop artist. Stays in Chicago. I've been making music for more than 10 years, pretty much working out the ins and the outs and just building up my craft and my style. And pretty much this year, hit up a couple cities for a couple tours, and I just stay working.
Excellent. I'm going to turn. Ryan, can you just turn your mic down just a little bit, so then I'll just boost everybody's. Just a little. We can still hear you, but it's just a little quiet.
Sure.
There we go.
Problem.
We'll try that. So what always interests me is particularly people that obviously made it their life, whether professionally or otherwise. They get into music and they make it really part of their lives. I was wondering what your background is there. Are you from a musical family?
No. No, I just... Man, people up in my family, they listen to, when I grew up, I listened to a lot of hip hop from West Coast, East Coast, down South. But yeah, nobody in my family plays instruments, or sings, or raps. Yeah, I just grew up loving it.
Okay, nice. Did they? What kind of music were you exposed to when you were growing up?
From all types, from Dr. Dre, Ice Cube. To down south with Master P, No Limit, Cash Money, like to the West with Death Row. To my favorite rappers are Jay-Z and Nas. So Tribe Called Quest. We listen to a bit of everything up in the Midwest. So it's a lot of influence.
Excellent. So as far as just from your family's point of view there, as you were growing up, what kind of music was other people playing when you were younger? And was that something that you enjoyed, or were you kind of pulled in the more the direction of the hip-hop kind of rap genres?
No, I grew up on it. I loved it since the first time I've heard it. Yeah, but I've always, here in Chicago, it's like a melting pot. So hip hop from everywhere just comes to this city. So I experienced pretty much all the sounds from the West to the East to the South to even the Midwest with Kanye, Common, and even the cheap drill movement. I've heard it all.
Oh, excellent. Now, I've got a serious question. It's a very serious question. I'm putting my serious face on. Are you one of those rappers that rents his jewelry for the video?
I don't wear a lot of jewelry. No. I've always been more into tattoos and stuff, so jewelry just never fazed me like that. I have like a couple of chains, but nothing crazy.
Excellent.
So you're not going to pull like a Mr. T with a giant amount of gold jewelry where you need to be like ripped just to be able to stand up with it on?
No, I'd just rather have the money.
So speaking of tattoos, we can see that you've got a couple of full sleeves on your arms there. Have you got any plans for some new ink coming up, or are you pretty much at that point?
No, I get ink from my shoulders to my legs to my chest to my stomach. I get ink probably once or twice a month.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
wow. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
So what you're saying is, if I ever come down to Chicago, chances are I'm either going to see you on stage or in the tattoo chair is what's going to happen.
It depends on the day.
All right, there you go. That's a great answer. I mean, you can't get much more than that, man. Good stuff. So hip hop hip hop and rap. That's sort of like been the center stone around of what you said. That's what you've grown up listening to. Can you enlighten a couple of guys who probably don't know too terribly much about hip hop and rap? And is there really a difference between the two, or are they kind of just parts of the same genre? Should I avoid Chicago now for asking that question? Like,
I mean, I don't it's the same to me pretty much. They just pretty much go hand in hand, like hip hop and rap. People want to say it's a difference. Not to me. It's like I really don't listen to a beat and be like, okay, I'm going to make it for more of a hip hop fan base. I just want more for a rap. I just write to the beat. If whoever likes it, likes it. But yeah, it's the same to me. It's no big difference.
That's good.
Excellent.
Good to know.
So when I was, I guess when I was saying my kind of mid-teens, which was sometime in the 1980s, right at the beginning. I'm old. Rap started to break into the pop scene, and so some of the music I was listening to was ska, the Specials, and the Beats in the UK. And they were bringing rap, and it would just be a segment of the song in the same way that maybe more traditional songs would have a middle eights. It would just be a little bit in there to break it up. Now, why does rap now seem to work as a whole song, but that middle eights wouldn't work? It would be an awful song to be that middle eights and extend that for 3 minutes. Why does rap work?
I still think it's pretty much... It's exotic to a certain demographic.
Okay.
Is whereas like a lot of suburban America, it's almost like watching an action movie in a sense, but the characters are pretty much real where they come from. Like this stuff actually goes on compared to watching a movie. It's just fiction. And so people just love hearing, violence. People love seeing people spending money. People just love seeing just that side, just pretty much just that side of music. And it's still new. It's still pretty much like the youngest genre in music. So
Yeah, I think so. We did have a question from Elna. Well, actually, no, there was a question actually about the tattoos. Do you have any? I'm just going to paraphrase the question. Can you tell it? So I think I've lost it on the screen here, but I want to kind of know about the tattoos. There, did you have any? I'm going to paraphrase, but did you have anything that you've any ink to use the language of you youngsters that had any particular meanings for you, or do they all kind of have something special about them?
you say, like, do I have any that doesn't mean anything to me? Like,
Yeah,
I have some that mean.
Yeah, no, I think you've got the question. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 50-50. I always say if I get everything that means, like if everything on me had meaning, then it's pretty much meaningless. It's like how much stuff could really mean that much to you. So I have a handful of portraits, and then after that, I just got stuff I like and just fillers and everything. Yeah, but no regrets for my tattoos.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So it looks good and it feels good. Therefore, I think a lot of musicians I treat their music that way. We don't really necessarily know all the theory. We don't really give it too much thought until we're polishing it up at the end. It's just if it feels good, if it sounds good, then it is good, right?
They don't feel good.
Well, yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, they hurt.
I've only ever seen them done on TV, so I'll take your word for
Oh
it.
no, they can hurt.
Yes, they can.
Really painful.
So I've got two of them. I got one on my shoulder when I was a dumb kid and just decided to stupidly get it. But then I got this one on my wrist when and that was to celebrate or sort of to commemorate a year of being sober. Yeah, thanks, buddy. And most of this was fine until I hit this one little bone right about here, and then I was very aware that he was poking me with a needle. And then it was okay. Then after that, it was okay. You got to pass that part.
I stay with numbing cream before I go, and even when it's stuff the way I'm.
Oh, yeah, good man. I did not do that. I did not do that. I was very aware.
I have them all over my arms, armpits, all over.
Oh,
armpit!
Actually, in your armpit.
Ow!
Woo! Wow! Oh, dude, that's impressive. Okay. I don't think I could do a tattoo in my armpit without breaking my vow of sobriety, because that would just be, oh my goodness. In fact, just to give you being a very pasty white guy, I have skin. I get skin irritation really badly. And I gotta be careful what kind of deodorants I use. So you can imagine trying to work up to get tattooed here. No,
Yeah.
You're brave man.
Well, yeah,
I just know what it takes.
The Ryan's skin is so white. It's because I'm sure it's almost see-through, so it's got to be pretty thin.
Well, I put up with you, so no, I would have to say it's pretty thick.
Hey. I think we have a couple of questions there in the chat. So Shalim's asking, will history see this kind of music as essentially urban folk music?
I don't think so. I think it's just going to be just rap and hip hop. I don't think it's going to break off into.
Yeah,
and it's kind of is now with down south and everything. It's kind of breaking up. But I still think at the end of the day, it's still just going to be rap and hip hop.
Yeah, no, I think the point he was saying is that the style, without changing the style, will it be considered the folk music of the urban areas? The same way that folk music is.
Yeah, it pretty much is. I think it always will be. Yeah. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so too.
like,
And
yeah,
it's going from strength to strength. As like I said, as a white kid in basically a white neighborhood for the most parts, I've just seen the music just get stronger and stronger. It edged its way into the music we were listening to when we were in the 80s, and it's just now become massive. It's like it's probably many branches of a massive tree now, right? It's not even a one genre thing anymore. Right? It has a life of its own.
It's always changing within almost every year. I'll say within like a good 3 years, it changes up. Yeah, so it's changing up pretty rapid. Yeah, the style and different sounds from different areas. Yeah, it doesn't stay very long.
Excellent. Just skimming through, I did see another question here. Ryan, do you have a question in the chat there in your eyes, or?
Yeah, I do have a couple here.
Rather than me just looking at me reading, it's not very much fun, is it?
Yeah, no problem. I have one here. It's also coming from Shaleem. Shaleem is one of our longtime fans and always has amazingly good questions for them, and we don't usually get to half of what he has to ask. So in Canada, our Aboriginal community, so like some of the First Nations people, rap and hip hop is linked very culturally, and there's some amazing young Aboriginal artists that are part of the Canadian music scene and are just insanely talented. Is that something that you guys are aware of, or have you seen any of the cross-border connections with some of our Aboriginal artists, or even just some of the rap artists from Canada, or is that something that you guys really haven't been able to cross-border?
The biggest one is Drake.
Yeah. Come on, Drake, right?
Yeah, the biggest one is Drake. I'm familiar with Drake. I think when he started off, it was another. I can't think of the artist now, but he started off with. I know Chaos tried to do pretty big thing to the U.S. I think he did have a pretty good run in the U.S. I'm pretty familiar with it, with the Canada's thing. Not not greatly familiar with it, but I do know a couple artists.
Right on. And we'll save Muttley's question to the end. When we need to do a nice little segue.
Oh yeah, why don't you? We'll finish off the. We'll catch up with the chat now. And then we'll end the chat with that question.
Yeah, very good.
As well.
So again, another one from Shaleem. He says one of his favorite albums in the rap hip hop genre is "Fear of a Black Planet" by Public Enemy. He wants to know what's your thoughts, and did that have any impact on you? Has it meant anything to you in that particular album?
Not really. I know of Public Enemy, but when I grew up, nobody really played a lot of Public Enemy, so not too much Public Enemy.
So not a huge influence on your music.
No, probably just a little bit of Cube, but yeah, not too much Public Enemy.
Right. If you could, and then this is always hard, because I hate it when people ask me this question. So I'm going to ask it to you because we can all be. It can be awkward together, right? If you had to boil down the one album that you can definitively say, this artist pushed me to say, instead of just like music, to make the music that you love. So in your case, or in my case, when I was about 13, I heard Nirvana's Nevermind. Obviously, I was a little older, and Kurt Cobain had passed away. But that album really pushed me to pick up a bass guitar and learn how to play. Right? That was the album that I could probably say, and there's probably like 5 or 6 albums in around that era. But that was, if I was to put a number on it, that was it. Is there something similar to that for you?
Yeah. My album would be, it's a pretty critically acclaimed. People either like it or they hate it. But it was Illmatic. Stillmatic. When Stillmatic came out, because it was right around the time when it was Nas going at Jay-Z, and people pretty much loved Ether. And I was probably in grammar school when that came out, and I was able to get the CD still. But I got the CD, and pretty much I bought it for Easter, but then I listened to the music, and it was a lot of storytelling, and I really never really heard that from rap. It was pretty much just because I pretty much grew up when the start of the bling era, and so when I was hearing all this storytelling, I was like, wow, it's pretty creative. And I just pretty much got addicted to it. That's how I like became a Nas fan. So after that, I was just seeking out more storytelling from Nas to Jay-Z, and then after that, the second album had to be a track called Quest Midnight Marauders. Like it wasn't as heavy storytelling as Nas was. They weren't lyrically as great as Nas, but the beats, I was just drawn into them. So yeah, it had to be Stillmatic. That's the album that pretty much just changed it all for me.
Right on. Mark, have you seen anything in the comments, or should we go with the?
There is one from Stream that says the film 8 Mile with Eminem came out in 2002. What impact did that have on you? He says that it was fantastic.
8 Mile. It had kind of little until I got to Detroit and I was actually able to see it, because Detroit's from Chicago. It's close, but it's still kind of far. It's about a 4-hour drive, and this is pretty much totally different vibe from Chicago. Detroit's more of a small, kind of like a smaller city compared to Chicago. Well, so when I was watching it, it was still kind of like an outsider looking in. But when I actually went to Detroit and seen pretty much how the town ran, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it pretty much had a deep impact, whereas it's like Detroit, I like the you got like the trailer parks are kind of like a project, where in Chicago, we don't really have trailer parks, and all of our pretty much projects are like apartment buildings, kind of, and skyscrapers. So it was different to see. It was pretty much different to see that type of vibe and area from the Midwest, but it really didn't have a great impact on me because it's a whole different vibe than Chicago.
Now, something I remember, harkening back to this, so the first time I took on stage, when I saw that scene where he's sitting there and he's trying to get ready, and he gets on stage and he completely goes, and he's like, everybody looking at him is just like, did you relate to anything like that, or has it always just been one of those, let's get up on stage and just go, just feel confident? That's more me now because I've done this for so long. It's, I'm as comfortable on stage as I am behind the camera as I am just doing things. But those first couple of shows that you do, you're like,
I never froze. I've yet to ever freeze on stage because I pretty much like, it's pretty much a job. Like I'm there to entertain, so I just want to give it my all. Hopefully, I can get a couple fans and just go on to the next thing. But yeah, I've never pretty much froze while I couldn't do a performance. I've always just gave it my all every time.
Right on. That's great.
Yeah, there are a couple of. I've made a note. There's a couple more questions, but let's get on to the question that I'm sure Muttley is chomping at the bit to get the answer to. So here we go.
Yeah.
So there it is. Sausage sarnie or bacon butty? What's your preference?
So would you like a sandwich with sausage or bacon? What do you like better?
I don't eat sausage.
Sausage. Went straight for the sausage without question there.
Only sausage I may eat is from Chicago. So a hot dog. Other than the hot dog, I really don't eat sausage. I don't eat burgers. Yeah, so always bacon. 100%.
There you go.
Excellent. Nice and decisive. So I just want to let everybody know, just kind of, I don't think I announced this earlier actually, is that we got two songs that we're going to be playing pre-recorded a little bit later in about, maybe 10-15 minutes. That I think these are new songs that haven't been released yet. Am I right?
On SoundCloud, but yeah, okay. not to like selling platforms like Spotify, anything like that.
Okay.
It's mixtape tracks.
So they are available. So we have 2 songs. So we got a slideshow and studio recordings of 2 songs. So that's definitely something worth hanging around for if you were thinking of leaving. Because you're not, because you're having such a great time. And so that'll be coming up shortly, and then we'll talk about those songs when they come up. And if you are interested in any of LH's finding out a bit more about him, but maybe even buying some music, there's links in the description of the video. So on Facebook, look up, and on YouTube, look down, and that includes a link to the Apple Music store as well. So go check that out. Go show him some love. Okay, we have had a lot of questions from the audience, so I think they've made the effort to come and watch us. Let's continue with the questions. 3 questions actually from Shalim, and Mudley has one as well. So start with the in order that they were asked. With many people streaming music instead of buying, how important is it to play live shows and sell merch?
Very important. Like everything, whatever it takes to get your name out there. Because you just can't rely on one city. A lot of people think you can, but no, you can't. So it's a lot easier. So they can just Google you and find your music, and it makes it just a lot simpler than just trying to give one person a CD or one person a CD. They can like the song, and then they can go on to their fan base and just expand more. So yeah, so I like the digital age.
Nice. Okay, that's actually a different answer than we often get. I think usually it's the play the live and the merch is what we'll often hear. So that's nice to hear a different answer to that question.
Oh yeah, I like it. People want to take pictures with you and everything. So, yeah, I don't mind.
For sure. So Shalim's asking a deep question: is rap / hip hop as much a state of mind as it is a genre of music?
Oh, I've been asked that. No, because you don't have to live a certain lifestyle in order to be a rapper or a hip hop artist. So you don't have to come from the slums in order for your music to be just as real as somebody from a middle class to an upper class. If you can rap, you can rap. It's no pretty much discrimination with it.
Hey,
interesting.
Distracted.
That's a great answer because when you really do think about it, I'm gonna generalize here, but and say that rap is inclusive as part of the musical spectrum here. It doesn't really matter where you come from. You coming from Chicago, having a different life experience than I have had, growing up here in Winnipeg, different class, different everything, right? What brings us together is music, right? What makes us to be able to play together and do a show together is music. Your approach to music is something different that's relative to and expressing your experiences as is mine, right? So it is really the great equalizer, and I love that answer because it is weird to when you think like it's such, and some music is so deeply intertwined with culture that it is difficult to say that I like this without saying it was like, oh well, you're just this or that, or you're just appropriating this, or it's like, can't I just like it?
Yeah, it's like when I listen to my favorite, like when I fall in love with music, like my favorite artist, the furthest thing from my mind was how far in poverty did they come in order to. I just wanted good music. I didn't care what their background was. As long as they just gave me great music that I can vibe to, then that's all that mattered. I didn't care if they came from like the projects or they came from a $10 million mansion. That was the furthest thing from my mind.
Well, that's good.
Great. Okay, so just continue with the fan questions. Shalim again. What can fans expect from one of your shows? How many people on stage? That kind of thing. How big a production?
Usually just me. Yeah, I don't have a posse or entourage. It's just me. I just want to vibe out and give the people a great show. I don't have a big entourage with me or anything like that. Just like when I go into the studio, it's just me. I don't need 10 people just sitting right there and vibing. I'm pretty much in my zone. So I just want to make sure it's right and that I feel it, that it's coming out the way I envision it.
Okay, that sounds good. Actually,
So they can expect. So they can expect like high energy.
That's impressive. You know what? I've always admired solo artists. Confession, I still do get a little bit of stage fright from now and again, but it's easier when you're with other people, so you're playing off each other's, you're playing to each other's strengths, you're with your bandmates. It's still a collaboration on stage. I would be terrified if I had to play alone. That would be absolutely terrifying for me. But that's because I've spent so much time playing with other people. Maybe it would be good for me to branch out and go on my do something on my own, or do a song on my own.
It's to each his own. It's always like I'm pretty much like I'm an indie label, so I'm pretty much making the music, looking for beats, working when I can. So it's gonna be hard for me to get somebody to take out time to be like, okay, well, now we're gonna do this song a couple times. It's just easier for me to do it. I know how I want it to sound. I know, and I just practice it a couple times, and I just go on stage. I'm used to it, so it's no big thing. But I know people that need the entourage on stage, that needs the hype man. So it's whatever works for you. I don't think it's the right way or a wrong way. It's just whatever works for you.
Excellent. Just wanted to point out to everybody, Shalim has posted in the chat the link to LH's SoundCloud page there, so you can go check that out. Particularly if you listen to the songs, you like them, one or both, and you can go and grab them. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Shalim actually says great answers to the questions. And Ellen says that she is very impressed as well. Yeah, some very intelligent answers to what could be some quite could be over rehearsed. Some of these questions you've been asking.
No.
But yeah, it's becoming very genuine and very very thoughtful. So that's nice to see. I've got a question regarding your regarding your music. With I was reading that you seek out different producers and different people to work with. Just so you can, I guess I'm paraphrasing, but so you can stay fresh and look for new angles, that kind of thing. The question is how much of your recording, of the record, of the finished product, is the producer, and how much is it you?
I just let the engineer do what he does. It's like I go in there, pretty much. It's not a one take type of thing. I'll pretty much before even going in a studio, I'll rehearse it. It may take me a couple of weeks. I just want to make sure I get it right, so I can just give the energy. I can just focus on giving the energy more than getting the words right. And so we get the energy right, we get the ad-libs right, make sure the song is good, and I just let the engineer do what he do. So that's like a question I really can't answer. I just say I give 100% in the booth. I let the engineer do what he do, and he's been good so far.
Yeah, actually, that's a good. So I guess it's a good answer or a good comments, but just let the guy who's got the skills do the things that he's skillful at.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Like I don't want to. Like that's something I don't want to do as engineer. So he loves it. Yeah, so I just let him work his magic.
I'm forced into that position because we produce and release our own music. But it's I just desperately would like to hand that thing off. So I just want to focus on the music and the performance.
I just want to write and make it. Yeah, that's it.
Good. Elna is all upset because her questions are getting ignored. I think it's one particular question.
I was trying to figure a segue into this.
Yeah. So the question is, are you single or in a relationship?
Single.
Oh, there we go. There you are, Elna. So Elna, you're in luck. All you got to do is buy a ticket and fly from South Africa to Chicago. Okay, so it's great.
And happen to find an LH show. There you go. Remember, there's a good chance he could be in the tattoo parlor. So
I always let you know them days, so it's no big thing.
Okay, just moving forward with some some music-related questions there. So traditional Western music structures have songs that are based on kind of a verse, chorus kind of structure. How do you structure your songs? Do you take that approach, or do you take a different approach?
It's like I listen to the beat, I listen to it over. I try to get the hook first, and so I juggle it different ways. I juggle a couple ways to get the hook. I'll write it out, then I let it pretty marinate for a couple days, and I'll be like, okay, do it need to be faster? And I kind of add more words, and then next couple days I'm like, it may be too many words. Maybe it's losing the catchiness. So I take out a couple words, and then pretty much when I get the hook right, then I just start writing the verses.
Okay, so you do have those distinctive sections, and you do repeat.
Yeah, I go all over the place. There's no just straightforward A to B type of thing.
Yeah, I
go
kind of get that
over.
feeling, particularly when using the term flows. You kind of get that feeling that there's a bit more fluidity to the music. You can actually hear it. You will hear this, audience, when there's a lot of fluidity in LH's material. So,
and I find that's really something that's, I don't want to say completely unique, but is very much a cornerstone of rap and hip hop, is having that fluidity and having sort of not the verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, verse done kind of 3-minute pop song that we're also accustomed to hearing. That having that flow, that fluidity that moves through, keeping it going and not relying on what would be considered that is completely unique, and it's just it can be such a breath of fresh air when you're so used to a single genre of music. So I was grooving right out when I was listening to your music the other day. It's just like
I kind of took the Eminem approach. I remember somebody told the story about Eminem where he would pretty much, I guess, when Proof was still alive, when he was on his come up, he would pretty much write a song. I guess he'd write the whole 16, and somebody told him that sounds like somebody. Eminem would pretty much trash the whole thing and go right back to square one. So I pretty much write the song, and then I'm like, okay, this is pretty much too simple right here. This is just pretty much too safe. I'll try to add more words. I try to change up something.
Excellent. So we got Elna just clarified as well. She did have another question. It wasn't all hormones. She asked, how many rap styles are there?
I don't know. I never sat down and I never just sat down and just thought about it. I would just say infinity.
Yeah, actually.
Well, I guess we could also say that there's unique sort of stylistic things that are different. So if you listen to something, say from the East Coast, New York, Washington, Boston, that area, versus say something from the West Coast, California, they do have different feels, distinct feels. That's partially just because of the diversity between the two spaces, as I'm sure there's differences stylistically between Midwestern rap, Southern, something more from the Southern states versus the West Coast versus the East, all that kind of stuff. So there's at least
even.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
I also like even then it's like Doom didn't sound like Jay-Z. I mean, Wu-Tang Clan didn't sound like Nas. And that's all New York. And then, like 50 didn't sound like them. So they still had their unique flow. Like Common didn't sound like Lupe. I'm from Chicago. Common didn't sound like Lupe Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco didn't sound like Kanye West. Kanye West don't sound like Chief Keef. And all them rappers and stuff for Lupe Fiasco pretty much are from out south. So they're from within like a 15-mile radius. And they all sound different. It just all had different life experiences. So
then you could say that for as many rappers as there are out there, that's as many styles as there is. Right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like rapping. To me, like rap is big. You have like maybe like let's say like 5% that's mainstream, and then you had the other 95% that's just completely underground. And underground may not be as catchy as the mainstream, but it's still a unique style that people just draw to, even though it may not be a mass amount of people, but a certain amount of people still like it.
Yeah.
So, well, how about yourself? Do you prefer the sort of the more polish of the mainstream, or do you is there something that's different about going to watch an underground show, watching an up and comer, or watching somebody take the stage for the first time? Is that something that you enjoy, or would you prefer to be at like a Jay-Z show or Nas or insert artist here show?
It just varies. It varies. It just varies on the type of. I mean, it goes broad to me. If I like the song and I like the artist, I'll support them. Yeah, but I don't have a preference where it has to be an arena show compared to an underground show at a local bar. If I like the artist, I'll support them no matter what. I'm just about the music.
Good stuff.
That sounds like a great segue to the music. Let's listen to one of the tunes. We've got two songs. Which one would you like me to put on first?
You can put on Vegas to LA.
Vegas to LA. Okay, here we go. Here's Vegas to LA, and then we'll have a little chat afterwards. You can tell us about the song afterwards, and then we'll, I think I've said it all. Here we go.
Problem.
So, Vegas to LA.
Yo, they say it never rain in SoCal, but I swear I seen a shovel in a snowplow. I'm in the telly with it blazing up. She get a pad, but I'm not here to judge her. Shame I try to change her, just the ear so she can vent. She stripping Vegas, all over the Vegas strip. I let her finish puffing that Ray G into a roasting before heading right out the door. See, this Nevada heat, I'm enjoying the desert air. A lot of bums out here, none of them selling squares. The nightclub closed, so we sightsee for a few. ATV riding and seen two I do, but now it's time to go. Adios to the casinos, the destination Cali. Next year we checking out Reno. As I'm driving down the 15, all that we see is obscene. Dirt from the desert covering my jeans. A 3-hour ride as the passenger blow a bag. The side roads are full of abandoned spots that's tagged, and it's not bad. Very confident, soothing when y'all ride playing. It barely feel like we moving. Had to take my mind away from all the violence and shootings that play my city since the COVID with arrest and lootings, multiple rides. I'm like, will we overcome? If opportunity knock, don't look back and run. But now we made it. The full fabric like a melody. Palm tree, no rain, temperatures in the 70s. Food truck, had taxes and street vendors. The hotel's a few blocks from Staples Center. Rip, Cobe, and Nip. Pour out before I sip. Meals all over buildings. I had to give me some pics. Didn't see blood or Crips. I calculating in khakis and white tee. Fitted blue jeans appear snappy. Houses in the hills, overlooking the city. Hollywood Boulevard, that strip is so gritty. The low rider was sick, tie up in the air with the chrome spokes. Had that jumping from all the switches. Flying back to the shop, but promise you I miss it. More of the West Coast, I had to come back and visit. Maybe for 7 days, but got a stack of my paper. Now it's back to snow, windshield, and skyscrapers. Yeah.
Go. Excellent.
We go.
Yes, I had something set up there and it didn't work. I wonder why. Let's try it again. There we go. Yay.
Hey.
Thank you.
There we go. That's great. So what was that song about? What was your inspiration?
First I got the beat because I just liked the beat. And then I actually took a trip from LA and then we drove to Vegas. It was me and my pops. It was maybe like a 4-day trip. But I just pretty much started the song. I just started it. And then I just after I started it, I just wanted to complete the story. And so I used the trip in order to just fill in the rest of the song. Yeah, but I had no idea I was going to go with it when I started it. But after I just started writing to it, I'm like, oh, okay, let's finish it up.
That's, excellent. We got Shleem says, dang, a lot of great effort put into that track. Really liked it. And then he says, listen to it again, and he's posted the link on SoundCloud to that song. There you go. There was a... This is kind of funny. Ellen says, Ryan, you should try rapping. Since you claim you can't sing, I can see it now. Mark sings and you come in with a rap solo.
Try, why not?
LH, I'm gonna get your number. We can talk about it. You can be my coach. There you go.
No, like, yeah, I love complex styles. I like simple styles. One of the simple styles, low flip, the way we ball. That's like the simplest style and one of my favorite songs. So you don't have to be real complex.
All right,
Good
to know.
Okay, so we have I think I have a couple of questions here. I think I'll get them in the right order. And the chat's moving. I lost my spot. Hang on a second.
We're asking again. They're asking for another track.
Yep. Okay, that was I think.
Great thing.
So, question from Shaleem. There's several questions. I may skip a few just because of time. So, apologies to anybody if I miss any questions from now on. But if you could work with any producer in the world, who would it be? Oh, sorry. Who would be on your list?
Oh, man. I've thought about this, and it always changes up. I would probably say right now, probably Pharrell. Timbaland. It was always Timbaland. I always enjoyed Timbaland's production. He's like bar none the top to me.
Excellent.
Very good.
The audience is chomping at the bit. Multiples there saying more music. Another one from Shaleem, and it was really good, says Elna. So let's get the other one on. Give me a second to cue that up. Yeah, there we go. That was literally a second. So this is a song called Real. I do apologize for the same slideshow, but it's not horrible on the eyes, is it? Okay.
I don't mind at all. No big thing to me.
This slideshow is for all you ladies out there. Yes. Okay, here we go. So Real.
Under these dim lights, I'm slowly burning the herb. VIP in my table and drinks I both reserved. Khaki but never wear that random, it might emerge. No regrets, my money identical to my nerves. The main event, focus but never spoken a word. Quiet into myself, accurate to what you heard. They paid for my appearance and I'm just doing my job and give a if you feel bamboozled and robbed. My nigga love it, far from the hood, so ain't no malice. All the fruits on my label, they made them the fruit salad. Champagne to their head, spit it out in disgust. Pat down by security, still got hammers tough. They take hold of the moment while I'm consuming my doubts. Feel grounded, though my career is taking off. I sacrifice so much for this position in music. Paranoid is that I can lose it. Real, what up? Real, what up? Real, what up? Real, what up? And now you motherfuckers shut up. Real, what up? Real, what up? Real, what up? Yeah, yo, the next man at a moment, be loved by people. Just stroking my ego and slowing my libido. I'm never catching their names and how it always remains. Send them off in the Uber before I'm boarding the plane. Vacation over, on it but still never relax. Minutes are going crazy, I got my first play. My name is buzzing strong, commas are getting long. I can't do no wrong when there's money coming along. Signing disclaimers, cameras on every wall. Keeping it close, I don't need just with alcohol. I got too much to lose and they willing to take it all. The wrong night, I can get blackmailed and bald. Watching out for these robbers, usually someone bitter. Could be sent by enemies, I wanna is I only trust so much, so very little discuss. On edge that I can be set up like real, what up? what up? Real, what up? Real, what up? And now you motherfuckers shut up. Real, what up? Real, what up? Real, what up? Yeah, real, what up?
There we go. Yay, everyone. Look at that. Excellent.
Thank you again.
Yeah, the audience is always wonderful. Yeah, we have
Except for when we play. Then,
Except for when we
then
play.
they're not so nice.
Yeah, the balcony's been a bit quiet kind of late, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's because we haven't played anything.
It's just true. This is true.
We've had guests, so.
There we go. Actually, no, I think they're going to looks like they want to say something.
That was great. I mean, as in grating on my nerves. Like nails on a chalkboard.
That wasn't very nice. Oh, come on, those guys are awful. Why do we let them come in? I don't know.
All I can say to them is they're getting what they paid for, and since they didn't pay to get in.
I don't mind. Always up to criticism.
So, anyways, I lost my train of thought because the things are going up. Shaleem had asked a question that I was going to ask here. What's real all about? Where did that song come from?
I just heard the beat. This is pretty much almost like paranoia from getting so far. Like pretty much getting where you want to be in a rap game. It's pretty much like, who can you trust? The people closest to you, the people you don't even know. Who really can you trust? And so you pretty much it's just up on you.
Does that sort of that career path get a little treacherous when you get take the next step up? Do you kind of have to watch your back and make sure that someone's gonna not step on you or count you out, or is it more like you're hot today, you're the old news tomorrow kind of thing?
Both. It's always more money, more problems. And then you don't know how long it's going to last. So that's usually you can't be paranoid that today can be the hot thing, and tomorrow you can't be. Tomorrow you could be making a ton of money. I mean, today you can be making a ton of money, and tomorrow it can just all stop. And so it's paranoid. You really don't know what tomorrow has for you. All the people besides you, what's their true motives of being with you? And so it's just a big thing of paranoia.
So then it becomes an issue of like, okay, so I know this person, so you should like me because, right? It's lonely, and I don't think that's unique to, I don't think that's very unique to rap per se. I think that all music, all industries, you hear about people who have reached the apogee of success, and they're known everywhere, and everybody's singing their songs, and they feel more alone than they ever did as when they were not on stage, right? So
yeah, but they really don't talk about it until pretty much the career is over with or spiraling out of control. Yeah, they really don't talk about it while they're in the moment, and that sounds just like being aware of it in the moment instead of it spiraling out of control.
Sure. Shaleem has actually asked a very pertinent question here. Is the best way to buy your music from Apple iTunes? Or is there a better place? A place you would prefer?
Either way, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, music on Spotify, either way, whichever way you want to support.
Okay, there you go. So go buy the music. If you like it, go buy it. That's good. And then there'll be lots more to come. That's a good way to encourage the arts that you like, is to pay a little bit for it so that you get some more down the road.
Everything. I appreciate everything.
Shaleem, she said about that last song, very appealing. He says, I want to hear it again. It looks like you have a
thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, so we are kind of winding down here now. We've come to, we're closing in on the hour. So we just want to thank you everybody for watching. Very active chat there, lots of interest. Thank you very much, LH, for joining us.
Thank you as well. I really appreciate it.
Some really intelligent answers to questions there. It was always a pleasure when we have someone that's really knows himself and can just add that little bit extra, which I think you have today. That's fantastic. Just like your music, it's just I
love making music. I love talking about it. No problem at all to me.
That's fantastic. So I'd like to encourage everybody, if you haven't already, Shaleem's put at least one, maybe two links in for the SoundClouds to hear the two songs that you've heard today, and you can check out the iTunes. The links to that are in the description of the video. So thank you very much. If you haven't already, like the video. That really does help us out. And if share it if you've enjoyed it with your friends and family. There we go. Shaleem just throw in a please put some stuff on your YouTube channel. There we go. So thank you very much again. And so from me and Ryan, I'll let Ryan speak for himself. But thank you very much for joining us. It's been great, LH, for you to join us as well. And we will catch
thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's just been an absolute pleasure. I've thoroughly enjoyed just chatting with you and hearing about your processes on music, or on creating your music and honing your craft. It's just been an absolute pleasure having you. It's just been great.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I appreciate being on here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And we'll catch everybody next week. We have Jean Landry from the Faceless Orphans from Quebec next week. So that'll be a lot of fun. I've spoken with Jean on the Welcome to the Madhouse show, and he is another nice guy. Aren't we all? Okay, thank you very much, everybody, and we'll catch you all next week, same time. Bye-bye.
Oh.